Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Friday. Thank you all for being here, hanging out, wrapping up your week with me. Very much appreciate it. Sorry about yesterday. The Matrix. The Matrix got me at some work stuff that popped up that I could not really get out of, we'll just say. So I had to deal with that and caused me to not be able to do the show yesterday. But I am very happy to be back with you guys all today, wrapping up the week the right way. And we're gonna have Ben and Tina Garrison in hour number 2 exclusively on pilled.net. So make sure you guys find your way over to the comfy bunker before the 5 o'clock hour. For now, jump in the chat, say hi. We'll call out as many of you as we can, as always, for the roll call. And then we'll officially get going here at 4 o'clock. Eastern time. Let's see. Q-Boys, Ruby 317, Silbor, Norm, Hang 10, all hanging out on D Live in the mosh pit. Good to be with you guys. Hope you're having an awesome Friday. Shout out to those of you watching on Rumble. I see there's a bunch of you out there, but only our super mod Joe Elaine chatting. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button for us. And of course, on pilled.net, make sure you hit that red pill and repost the show as we get started here. Let's see who's all hanging out with us this afternoon. HL Paco in there first today. What's up, Paco? Joe Elaine, of course, modding the chat. Thank you, Joe. Lightsphere, Lance, welcome. There's Floyd, Due Diligence in the house as well. Kang Chris, good to see you. And Patriot 714 hanging out as well. So good to be with you all. Due Diligence with a cookie, a Fajita Friday cookie. Thank you, Floyd, for being here. Delia, good to see you. And Trick Pony out there. What's up, Trick? R. Harrell, what's going on? R. Harrell, welcome. Pip's mom checking in from across the pond in Wales, UK. Says, happy birthday to my adopted president, Donald J. Trump. Yes, happy birthday to the boss man, Donald J. Trump. Let's see. Barb Robbins says, happy Friday. Just arrived in the 412, resting up until we get a very special person later tonight. Yeah, I'm going to actually be get to meet Barb and her daughter out for a little dinner tonight. So always look for opportunities to see the fam face to face. You guys, any one of you, if you're going to be in the Pittsburgh area, you got to let me know, because I'm always happy to try to carve out some time to meet you all in person. So looking forward to it, Barb. Don Ritchie 17, great to see you. Laura Y repping the 412. Let's go, Laura. CK Whitehorse 180, welcome. Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo, running Patriot in the house. Hey, there's Norm double dipping. Good to see you, Norm. Filter Dog ones. Let's kick the weekend off right now. Yes, let's go. Best Nani, great to see us. I'm so glad you're back. I miss when you're not here. You're my daily go-to for news and discussion. Well, I am absolutely flattered. I'm so sorry to let you down yesterday. Trust me, I wanted to do the broadcast. You guys know how much I love doing the broadcast, especially Thursdays too. You know, taking it back, working with Frank and Zach. Those guys are like guys I look up to in the broadcast world here. So missing an opportunity to hang out with them is always a big bummer as well. So trust me, I wanted to do it, very, very much. But unfortunately, just yesterday, my schedule got crazy. Glass Wanda, good to see you. M the Painter says, at the wire. Thank you for the cookie. Mad Joker out there. What's up, Mad Joker? Filter Dog. I already said hi to Filter Dog. Again, thank you for that cookie, Filter Dog. Lucy Anders, Range Pony, Boss. What's up, guys? Maxinon in the house, repping the Rise Attire tribe. RiseAttireUSA.com for all your evil-free apparel. Fazic, great to see you. Boss, D Patriot 1776. Say hi to D Lurker for us. And Joshua Tree 321. What's up, Josh? Christina in Texas, rather, excuse me. Let's see. Mix Picks. Good to see you, Mix Picks. Dale Bursier checking in from North Dakota. Flawless in USA. Welcome. And Space Cookie, Braves Piano with the Kansas. Happy Friday, 412 fan. Love y'all. Love you too, Braves Piano. Thank you so much. Clover Lily, it's so great to see you. I got your email. I will respond here probably some point over the weekend. But I just want you to know how much I appreciate you, Clover Lily, how grateful and thankful I am for you. And yeah, we'll be in touch. But I totally get it. I totally understand. And I'm sorry about the toxicity. That's a bummer. That's a real bummer. Um, it shouldn't have gone down like that. But anyway, it's all good. Tweety 52, welcome. Good to see you. Jucani, good to see you as well. And Down Home, good to see you. Let's see. CK Whitehorse 180. Jim out there. Let's see. Boys Blanc, thank you for the cookie. Appreciate it very, very much. Dave 75, Reneo 304. What's up, guys? We got target drivers, I guess. Can call off the search party. Looks like you've escaped. Yep. Safe and sound. DCM 17. Welcome, my friend. Jen Barrier out there. Mike the Madman in the house. Mixed Pick says we know you love talking back. Eagle Freedom, welcome. All right, guys. Who else? I saw somebody else, I think. M1911 Zoom. Yeah, there you are. What's up? All right, let's get this show started, shall we? We'll be right back.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriot United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted, the MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all, I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall, we're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong and stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production, Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adol Nero is the power that's controlling the flight. With all you patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may either find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they can find. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight. But I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replace it with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only sending vibes to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful. Then you're gone. But not us. We're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adol Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adol Nero.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. We are wrapping up another week of deplorable discussions here on 412 Productions. My name is Adol Nero. It is June 14th, 2024. Happy birthday to the boss man, Donald J. Trump, President Donald J. Trump. President number 45, soon to be president number 47. With me today is my very good friend, my OG, Mr. Tennessee Homesteader. What's up, man?
Yeah, 78 years old. I know the feeling. I'm not there, but it feels like it. Pretty good when you can do your own thing and be on rallies for hours and not have to be led by the Prime Minister of Italy.
Seriously. I hope I have like a third of the mental and physical capabilities that man has.
Yeah.
Well, he's unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
I saw this tweet. Somebody put his X, whatever, Twix. And
Twix.
yeah, that's what I call it, Twix. They put a glowing, a lefty blue check mark, glowing statement about the energy, that Biden had. He's 6 hours behind. He lost 6 hours. You don't lose 6 hours, okay? No hours are lost when you travel to Italy, okay? So, but nonetheless,
anyone could lose 6 hours. It's Joe Biden, though.
Yeah, exactly. But he's lucky they went over the Atlantic and didn't take the polar route. But it cracked me up because they showed 4 still images. And it cracked me up because on a still, you know how that goes. If you see the videos, the dude's lame. He's being led around like a little puppy because he doesn't know where he's at.
I'm surprised they doesn't like legit have a leash and shock collar yet at this point. You know what I mean? Like it's you might as well the way they treat him.
Yeah. I mean, you have to realize, and no, I mean, the royal you, that he's not even there. There is an entire cadre of handlers.
Oh, 100%.
Let alone that he flew the entire entourage to Delaware to when Hunter arrives back from court. The entire presidential entourage on our dime. Fuck. Meanwhile, the man that has done more in 4 years than Biden has in the 50 that he's been leeching off the teat flies around in his own airplane, and he only flies on Air Force. I would presume he flew on Air Force One because he has to.
Yeah. Donald Trump never came off as wasteful or, over the top with I mean, just look at, and as much as I disagreed with the overall move of moving the embassy to Jerusalem, look at the way he did that, right? It's a perfect example. He could have easily stuffed the pockets of friendly contractors with a multi-billion-dollar project to build, a fancy new embassy or whatever, kickbacks everywhere, make a bunch of money for whoever, whatever it's taxed. He didn't do that. He spent what? It was like a couple $500,000 or something.
Yeah.
He purposed to build the man gets it. The man absolutely gets it, Tia, and he understands that our tax dollars aren't just some endless supply of expendable resource, that those are the blood, sweat, and tears of the people he represents. That money should be spent frugally, judiciously, and not something just to take for granted, the way that most of Washington, D.C., most state capitals around the country, most of these parasitic Congress people and politicians see your tax dollars. Donald Trump, you could tell he's a man that has operated businesses and has worked for his money. Just by the way he did a lot of things. So I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Air Force One, the negotiation with Boeing, the F-35, the negotiation with Boeing. You mentioned the embassy, the wall.
Yeah, all of it. None of it was done. Like, he didn't do anything wastefully. He didn't do anything in ways that would be offensive to someone footing the bill, essentially.
Correct.
And we're gonna get into taxes because he had an interesting proposal. I'm gonna tease it. Very interesting. proposal. And I don't think that he was just saying that, Tien. We'll get into it in a bit here, but I don't think he was just bringing that up to bring it up.
No, he's
I
he's
think
he's tackling it. I think he's going after starve. Um, what's that saying? Starve the fever, something like that. I don't know, can't remember. But he's basically the pariah of the government. He's going to starve it.
I love it. I think that, if and when we get this man back in the White House, you're talking paradigm shifting, fundamental changes to a lot of things that are going to really be to the benefit of your working American. And it cannot come at a sooner time because this country is fucking spiraling right now. But we'll get into all that here in a minute. Tia, is there anything else you want to say
Yep.
in opening before I jump into sponsors?
No, happy day to everybody. Happy Friday. Happy. Oh, it's also the Flag Day.
Flag Day. Yeah.
There's an L in there. It's not a fag day. It's flag.
Flag Day. Yeah. Yeah. Despite it
And
being.
it's the red, white, and blue, not the multicolored bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to wish a happy 21st anniversary to Elizabeth G and her hubby, celebrating 21 years together today. So happy anniversary, you guys. That's fantastic. That's quite an accomplishment. So here's to at least 21 more years of happiness, health and happiness to you guys. So if you guys want to wish Elizabeth G some love in the chat, that would be awesome. We love seeing those big numbers when it comes to anniversaries. Also, Joe Elaine, thank you for the cookies. Someone else dropped some gold pills here that came in. Boys Blanc says my company is going to be selling critter juice. So exciting to support Jolene. That's awesome. Oh, I love seeing that, seeing the different businesses and whatnot that we have within this community, working together. Love seeing my sponsors create new connections and networks like that. That's awesome. Loop to Loop, thank you for the cookie. And John Rango with 100 gold pills says, hope everyone is having a chill day. I'm having a chill day. I hope you guys are all having a chill day as well. Then I think ADT drop 100 gold pills, if I caught that right out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, absolutely. So thank you guys so much for the early love and support on today's broadcast. Let's take care of our amazing sponsors today. We've got two of them. First one is Earth Garden Botanicals up in Montana, run by Jolene. What is there to say that you guys haven't heard about 1,000 times on this show? Literally 1,000 times, because Jolene's been with us for years now. And we run this ad almost every single show. And I love doing it because I love this company. I love the products. I love Jolene. She's amazing. She's an herbalist. She's a health coach. She makes these products up in Montana. The CBD products are fantastic. The best CBD oils I've ever used. They're pure. They're potent. All the ingredients are locally and organically grown right there in Montana on small farms. The flavors, oh my God, are they good? Orange, ginger, bergamot, huckleberry, cinnamon bliss, peppermint, cherry, even unflavored is awesome if you love the taste of herb. Which I know many of you do. CBD oil for pets, check that out. You got your Delta 8 R&R nighttime gummies to help you get a good night's sleep. And the topical cream for your sore joints and muscles is an arnica salve. You can get that with or without CBD infused, depending on your preference. Check out the white pine needle extract and the white pine needle tea, or the sunshine and pine needle tea, to help get a good detox going. Elderberry tonic to boost your immune system. Fire cider to clear your sinuses. Great to have during allergy season right now. If you're feeling stuffed up, your sinuses are all stuffed up, fire cider can offer that quick relief. And then, of course, the critter juice, like we just mentioned, all natural insect repellent. Stuff is fantastic. It keeps the mosquitoes and bugs off you. It's all natural. It smells good. It doesn't feel gross and oily on your skin. A really wonderful product. One of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. 10% off when you use promo code 412. So go to earthgardenbotanicals.com and load up a cart. Use that 412 promo code and say hi to Jolene for us. Thank you guys for supporting her business. She loves you guys so much. And then, of course, Diamond Soap Co. DiamondSoapCo.com. Another amazing America First company. These guys are like as America First as it gets. You talk about parallel economy. You talk about voting with your dollar. This is a great opportunity to do it right here. They make soap and body butter. They make it all handmade right here in the United States using organic, all natural ingredients. Harold and Laura are Air Force Intel vets. They've been married over 33 years. So this is a family and veteran owned and operated business that makes top-notch products, amazing soaps, amazing body butters. They smell so good. The Bonfires and Kentucky Bourbon are my two personal favorites, but I've tried almost everything they have to offer, and I've yet to be disappointed by any of them. The Island Escape is a little fruity, a little. It smells like a pina colada on a breezy beach. I'm not even joking. I don't know how they did it, but it's pretty fantastic. The green tea cucumber is super bright and refreshing, man. It really punches you right in the face in the best way. Frankincense and myrrh was inspired by Lance Lightsphere out on the chat. Plumeria was inspired by my OG right here, Tennessee Homesteader. Lemongrass, you got your cedar amber, sweet almond. There's so many others too. If you go and check out the hand soap page here, you'll see a ton of different options, all kind of different stuff, a little something for everybody. Get a t-shirt, men and women's t-shirts. They got hoodies, all that good stuff. diamondsoapco.com, and the promo code is also 412 there. You get a whopping 17% off when you use that promo code. So guys, again, go support the parallel economy. Stop buying soap from Procter and Gamble or Johnson and Johnson. Stop going to Walmart for it, Sam's Club, or wherever. This is a great opportunity to really great opportunity to again support that parallel economy and support a small business. So there you go. Diamond Soap Co. promo code 412 at checkout. Those are our fantastic sponsors today. Again, we appreciate them so much, and I appreciate all of you guys so much who continue to support them. Due diligence, thank you for the can. Appreciate it. Brew Bark says ending Fed income tax is a major tenet of NASARA. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Rise Attire with some shades is Happy Flag Day. And Donald J. Trump birthday friends, use code Old Glory at checkout today for 17% off all flag swag gear. And then they got the link also for the flag swag. Thank you for the can and the shades. And yeah, guys, definitely go check out RiseAttireUSA.com. You guys know how much I absolutely love the Rise tribe. The lovely Maxanon, Rise, they're badasses. They're so talented, and everything is evil free, made right here in the United States. Could not be more proud of them. And again, the only place to get your 412 Productions official gear as well. Check out the Signature Series and use that promo code Old Glory at checkout. Rise, let them know how long that's good for. Renee 0304, thank you for the cookie. And Oilman 94 dropping a ship. Really kicking off the weekend with some style there. Thank you, Oilman. It says happy Friday, brother. Happy Friday to you, man. I hope you're having an awesome end of your week. I hope all of you guys are. Again, it's great to be back, and thank you guys for bearing with me yesterday. One of these weeks here this summer, I promise, we're gonna get like a whole full honest to God week of shows in where I'm gonna have something come up and something happen. I don't know when, but we're gonna get there. I promise. All right. Without further ado, let's get into some stuff here. Let's start with this. Donald Trump apparently released a video picking on Joe Biden. So I haven't seen this yet. I was running behind setting up the show, but I figure we could all enjoy it together. Let's take a watch. Can I expand this? Oh, here we go.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping.
She knows so long as she is denied, our freedom can never be secured. We'll never forget lying around and him lying around, actually.
It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line.
I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure.
I love a good troll job, especially on a Friday, TN. Especially on a Friday.
And they made fun of Bush.
I know.
Remember? I
Oh,
mean,
I
no defense of Bush, but I mean, comparatively speaking, come on, the dude was a genius.
Yeah, I mean, he does make George W. seem articulate and brilliant, doesn't he? Like
Yes.
he really does. It's pretty amazing.
And this is just this, to quote Obama, this is just a smidgen of what he put together.
Oh yeah, he could have made easily a 5 or 6 minute video, uh,
Yeah.
picking on old Joe here. But anyway, that
Well,
was
why do a video when you could put a wrap on the tailgate of a truck and have MSDNC go nuts about it?
yeah, right. I would have liked to seen him add some of the racist things he said too. You
Right.
know, like you ain't black or what was it?
All back in chains.
That or I don't want my kid going to school in a racial jungle.
Right.
There was that one. What was the one about like um black kids are just as talented as rich kids or something like that? Or there was another quote
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just so many of them. He's a racist old man. Anyway, there you go. And we'll pair that up with this poll here. Most voters think Biden's mental decline is real. So new polling from Rasmussen reports finds that a majority of likely voters believe that Joe Biden's mental decline is real. Democrats and the media have tried so hard to gaslight the public into believing that Biden is perfectly fine and functions perfectly when he is behind closed doors and no cameras are rolling. They would actually have you believe that Biden only seems to malfunction when you can see and hear him. The problem for the left is that people are not stupid. People can see Biden and they know he is in decline because it's obvious to even the most casual observer. Let's see where we get into the numbers here. So President Joe Biden's awkward appearance at Monday night's Juneteenth jive at the White House may help reinforce new polling on the concerns voters have that he is in swift decline. Standing stiffly in a lineup of aides and key black leaders clapping and dancing to music on the South Lawn, Biden demonstrated what Rasmussen reports found in its latest polling of likely voters. Most voters think Biden's mental decline is real, the outlet headlined in its latest survey. Biden's health is increasingly being charted by social media accounts, capturing his slurring speech and frequent fumbles of fact. The latest trend has been to compare his speeches from a few years ago to today. In its poll, Rasmussen found that 57% believe Biden is losing his mental edge. Even a third of Democrats agreed that President Joe Biden is getting less and less mentally sharp, as did half of Hispanic and Black voters. You would have to be blind not to notice Biden's issues. Here's a great video right here. But I've seen so many funny captions on this. I think my favorite is like when those edibles first kick in. Right here you go. I mean, it's bad. Look how stiff he is.
There's another one where they're clapping, they're sitting and they're clapping, and he's off beat. It's like everybody's clapping on the beat, he's half beat.
It's unbelievable. It was poor kids are just as talented as white kids. Thank you, Delia.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. But yeah, it's bad. But I'm surprised it's only 57%. Yeah, and I would have thought that you would get much higher number than that. But whatever. It is what it is. It's a mess.
It's a mess, and the polls are a mess. Even though they're positive, it's just it can't be. There can't be that many stupid people in the country. I mean, or that I shouldn't say stupid, blind. It's weird. It's just weird.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say distracted. All right, that many distracted people. Don't pay that close of attention.
I guess.
Yeah.
But how could you not? I mean, it's like I guess if you're watching the propaganda machines, and that's your sole input, and outside of the distraction, that's your sole input, I guess so. Because you can't show a video that is so violent and so demeaning and so degrading. You saw that, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you haven't seen that? Oh, okay, I'll find it for you and I'll track it down. We'll play that.
Okay.
I'm sure Pinata did it. Pinata had to do it, but because it's the MSN going crazy. But anyways, we'll do that. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I want to get into this income tax thing, because this is amazing right here. And I hope this isn't just happy talk. I hope that this is serious, because this would be you talk about, like I said, paradigm shifting moves. This would be one of them. Trump drops bombshell proposal, allegedly suggests eliminating income tax in favor of high import tariffs during DC Republicans meeting. Imagine that, eliminating the federal income tax. That would be a 25% raise on average to the American working class, essentially. Imagine that, getting to keep all of your money except for what you pay on a state level. Think about that. What would you do with an extra 25% of income? That's amazing. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's take a look. President Donald Trump reportedly floated a bold proposal on Thursday to abolish income tax and implement an all-tariff policy, the CNBC first reported. This bombshell proposal was made during a private meeting with Republican lawmakers at the Capitol Hill Club in Washington, D.C., to pitch his plan to make America great again. CNBC reported that the meeting held a business roundtable event included prominent business figures such as Blackstone CEO Steve Schwarzman, JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon, Carlyle Group CEO Harvey Schwartz, and AT&T CEO John Stankey, among others. The news outlet cited anonymous sources and reported that President Trump proposed abolishing income taxes and adopting an all-tariff policy. In a Truth Social post, Trump wrote, quote, "Great meeting with Republican representatives, lots discussed, all positive, great poll numbers." Trump's strategy aims to empower the U.S. by cutting ties with traditional taxation methods that he claims stifle economic growth and personal prosperity. Oh my. You're not kidding there. He sees high import tariffs as a means to level the international playing field and penalize bad actors on the global stage who have long taken advantage of more lenient U.S. trade policies. Beginning in 2018, Trump introduced tariffs of up to 25% on a range of Chinese goods. These tariffs were employed as a strategic tool in negotiations designed to impact China's economy and compel Beijing to negotiate a new trade agreement that would tackle issues like intellectual property theft and forced technology transfers. Quote, "For 10 months, China has been paying tariffs to the USA of 25% on $50 billion of high tech, 10% on $200 billion of other goods. These payments are partially responsible for our great economic results. The 10% will go up to 25% on Friday. $325 billion of additional goods sent to us by China remain untaxed, but will be shortly at a rate of 25%. The tariffs paid to the USA have had little impact on product costs, mostly borne by China. The trade deal with China continues, but slowly, as they attempt to renegotiate." No, Trump wrote in 2019. Guys, this is an unbelievable idea, and it gets into Trump getting rid of taxes on tips. But hell, just get rid of it altogether. We have the industrial might to win in any trade war with any country. We have the markets, the prosperity of a nation to fund our government, to fund our programs through tariffs and trade, if we're not being sold out by corrupt, evil politicians making deals on behalf of their own personal prosperity at the expense of you, the American worker. We've been overtaxed for a long time, completely taken advantage of. The American people have been. This is the best thing I've heard since I've been doing this show. It is a proposal to eliminate federal income tax. I mean, really think about the implications of that. Anyone that's gotten a regular paycheck for any period of time knows how much of your legs get cut out from under you every 2 weeks or every month, however often you get that paycheck. You look at the pay stub, you see what's being taken from you. To what? Send to the military industrial complex? Or so some giant conglomerate manufacturer can take their business overseas and take advantage of slave labor and human rights abusing processes and procedures. You're forced to fund all kind of evil and horrific things across the world, while these fat cat politicians and lobbyists get fat and rich off of it. And again, it's all on the back of the hardworking American. This right here flips that on its head. It flips it on its head. It's your hard work, your prosperity working for you. It's your representatives, it's your government using your economic might to make money off of other countries through trade to fund the things that they want to fund, rather than enriching them and themselves while robbing you blind. This flips the entire paradigm upside down in the best way possible. I really hope this is true. I really hope this becomes a major push. And holy crap, Tien, this would unleash American potential and prosperity in a way that I don't think we've seen in the last 100 years, last 150 years. I mean, this would be so game changing, so unbelievably powerful. You're talking, I think, Tien, it has implications of, you could have single income families again. You know, you could have a homemaker again. You can have people actually with their kids instead of sending them to these state-run indoctrination camps we call public schools. The flexibility, the ability for people to have the bandwidth then to actually pay attention, to not cut corners when it comes to nutrition or just all those basic things that we have to right now that put us at a disadvantage, that allow us to be further and further taken advantage of. It's had such a snowball effect in the wrong way. You give people back 25% of the money that they're making, all of a sudden that paycheck to paycheck worker can save money. All of a sudden, like, you're not maxing out credit cards to survive. It's such a crazy shift. And I think that it would touch every aspect of our day-to-day lives in ways that'll make us safer. It'll make us more prosperous. It'll make us more healthier physically, mentally. It'll, I think, promote higher birth rates, bigger nuclear families, the nuclear family in general. I feel like, again, the snowball effect in the good way that this could have if they're able to get this done. That's a big part of taking this country back for the people for the next 100 years. This is huge. Go ahead, Tien.
Yeah. No, that would set us back to, let's see, pre-1913. So I hope I think it's true what he means, what he intends, but I'm wondering if something like the Overton window here, where the compromise is a flat tax. Obviously, I would prefer no tax at all, no income tax at all, but a flat tax would be a good compromise too, better than where we're at now. So, but yeah, everything that you said is very true. What it would do to the economic growth and potential of the country, and let alone the society as a whole, would be huge. Think about, no taxation of the people that are on Social Security that had put their money in, and now are getting taxed for using the money they gave to the government for their own Social Security in the long run, right? Let alone corporations and stuff. He also threw out a 20% tax for corporate, 20% corporate tax, which would be huge as well. And because remember he did the bring the money that you have overseas, and you won't, don't get taxed or a low tax. So, so I understand the 1871, 1913 is because that's where they passed the amendment and the Federal Reserve Act. That's why I referenced 1913. Prior to that, to the 16th Amendment, you didn't have taxation on incomes, which there's an argument that it actually happened a little bit before that due to a treaty, but neither here nor there. That's when the Constitution was amended to allow taxation of incomes. So anyways, point made, that it would be huge move. It would require Congress, which is another interesting thing, because this is another angle to the political aspect of it. Trump couldn't do this on his own. It requires a congressional action, which then puts the pressure on Congress, if people support, which would, right, support the platform, if you will.
I don't see how I mean, the Democrats would be like, oh, this is going to cut.
Oh, the OMB is going to go. The OMB is going to go immediately saying, "Oh, we're going to crash and burn," which may also be a good thing, because it puts the screws to the Fed.
Puts the screws to the Fed. What do you need to show, right? Like, how do you win that argument for all the people that are hooked on the government cheese and believe that you can't survive without taxing everybody? Because there's I would say a solid percentage of the country who they might not like taxes, but they're terrified that if the United States citizens aren't taxed, like infrastructure would crumble. People would no longer, be able to survive. Essentially, it would be anarchy. It would be apocalyptic. If the government couldn't. Like, how do we have that conversation?
It's a tough one because it's complicated. It's simple yet complicated to explain. You could say, well, through tariffs, so you could say that that's how our founders intended for the federal government to be funded. You kind of basically first start by saying your Social Security, your government cheese is not going to be cut off.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you have to say.
The money's coming from a different source. It's
correct.
Really,
correct.
I think also, Tian, you think a big part of the conversation too is the pork, like if it's through tariffs and they can't just tax all willy-nilly on the people, like does it force the government to be more frugal and judicial in the way they spend the money, the income that they have to?
Absolutely, because they can't turn around and basically say, "Oh, okay, we'll just raise the taxes, add a tax here, add a excuse me, raise the income tax, change the rate tables, et cetera, which they can do right now with a stroke of a pen. When they do the tariffs, it has implications to the entire nation.
Yeah,
because at that point you're into economic war,
right?
So yeah, it definitely puts the screws to the frugality aspect of managing the budget. I mean, in the way it's like this right now, on the household aspect of things, right? The breadwinner, whether it's one or two, it doesn't really matter. The breadwinner makes a certain amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
They are dependent on whomever they do business with. I'm assuming they're not self-employed, or even if they are, it's what they can sell or what they can produce for somebody that's paying them. Either way. Meanwhile, you have somebody else in the household that's basically spending like crazy, and they think, oh, okay, we'll just charge it on the credit card until the credit card maxes out. You can't do that, right? So at one point or another, through the tariffs aspects of it, would be the case of saying, we can't make any more money, you can't spend any more money because nobody's going to give you a credit card.
Yeah.
Right, because the companies that own the credit cards, right, are basically saying you're overextended. You can't sell enough product. You can't work enough. And that's how it works today, right? So that's in a way it's simplistic because you tie it back to anybody's income, anybody's home budget, right, kind of thing. The economics of the household, if you will. But if you try to explain it the way the government works, it confuses the shit out of people.
Yeah.
And it's really that simple. They just made it that complicated.
Oh, I agree. You mentioned like the Overton window aspect of it.
Right.
I think that is really important because it's like a cultural thing, right? Like it's patriotic to pay your taxes and pay your fair share. And they've brainwashed so many people into thinking that they work for the government when really the government works for them, and the government should be representing their interests. And if the government has opportunities to fund itself through other means than robbing their people through an extortion scheme known as federal income tax, then they should be pursuing those avenues. But instead they don't, and they're derelict of duty in a way, and they've turned the people into their slaves, their wage slaves, their debt slaves, rather than fighting for them and using their economic prowess and industrial might to leverage that into funding the government through trade and other things.
That's because they were bought to exactly do that.
Yeah. So this is amazing. Like this is the conversation that really needs to be had. I think Donald Trump is probably the one guy that could actually really put some steam behind this and potentially get something done. And I think you might be right about the Overton window approach. Even if you were to get to like a 10% flat tax and prove the concept, I think it'd only be a matter of time before people said, hey, if you could get this down to 10%, you could probably get this down to 5 or 0. Once you prove, because right now we pay close to 30 in most tax brackets.
Yeah.
So you cut that by more than half, you cut that by 2/3, the world doesn't fall apart, and then you come back, after a few years and say, look, there's opportunities to take this away entirely. In fact, we're doing so well on trade, like it's not really necessary. The 10% tax that we're charging you is a drop in the bucket compared to what we're making on trade or through these other avenues. There's no need to take it from you anymore. Show it on paper that there's no need. Really happy, and people will, I think, really quickly change the way they look at how a government should be funded.
Yeah, I agree. And the tough part, and I say tough only from a messaging perspective, right? It requires, because I've heard, many different people talk about it. The flat tax aspect, the fair tax, which is basically a consumption tax, not an income tax. All those are viable ways to get to 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. I don't think that we can go from where we're at to no tax at all overnight, because the system's not set up for that.
Fair.
You have to change the system, right, in order to do that. So we could talk about weaning it and all that kind of stuff, but it's the transitional approach. So, and then there's the aspect of the debt, because right now we have to understand that the taxes that are collected are to service the debt. They're not doing anything other than that, because we're 120 some odd percent of the GDP means that every single thing that this country produces, the gross domestic product, is insufficient to pay the debt.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you can't go into that, and the reason I say that it's tough because I do the numbers, right? For the comms and all that kind of stuff, and the first thing that people come up with is I can't do math, or not that I can't. I mean, math is it's not my thing. Numbers I can't handle. Blah blah blah. the unfortunate aspect of it is a lot of this has to be explained through numbers. For example, look at and there's some simple tables. To me, there's simple tables that show who's actually paying the taxes. The percentage of the income earners, that the 1% that actually paid 10% of the taxes, the 10% that actually pay 40% of the taxes, the 40 some odd percent that don't pay any taxes.
Yeah.
But the minute you show those things, people go, oh, it's numbers, I can't deal with it. But unfortunately, that's what it's required. I mean, if you can't deal with those numbers, you can't do a checkbook, you can't do a ledger in your household.
That's a great point, Dan. That's a really great point. Yeah,
and that's the challenge on the messaging. And I don't know how to do it. I'm saying I've heard Art Lafleur talk about it, because he was talking. He's the flat tax guy. He proposed a flat tax with Reagan, and showed the actual dynamics of the curve, of the income curve, and everything else. How I think it was 10%, and he jumped it up a little bit now because of the way that the economics were. But anyways, at 10%, he showed that you reach a point where you make so much money, you have a surplus at 10%.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a huge.
And there's no graduate. There's no progressive taxation at 10%. It's flat, meaning you make $100 billion, you pay 10% of that. You make $100, you 10% of that.
That's the way it should be.
Right.
If you're going to be taxed at all, you should not be punished for being more successful.
Correct.
You really should not be punished for being more successful. And even at 10% a flat, you still are, because if you make $100,000 a year, you pay $10,000 versus someone that makes $10,000 a year pays $1,000. So you still technically are being punished. You're throwing, $9,000 more into the pile every year than the guy making $10,000 a year. So in a way, you still are being punished, but at least it's not exponentially the way it is now.
Correct. And then you don't have to worry about the 1,500 different ways that you need to shield yourself from being overtaxed.
Yep.
Right? Why do we have the ability to deduct interest that you pay on your home? Because you're overtaxed.
Yep.
Right? I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying it's the actual, right? That's the actual thing. So the other approach is, which I liked what Huckabee had, and as a platform when he was running, was the consumption tax, which he called the fair tax. A lot of people call it a value-added tax, which is wrong. That's not a value-added tax, which basically you pay taxes on what you consume, not what you make. And the people that make a lot of money consume things that are expensive. I mean, you don't see, generally speaking, unless there's, drug dealing going on, you don't see a Bugatti parked next to a trailer.
Right.
Right? You don't see.
Not typically, but in some neighborhoods maybe.
Yeah, there's actually, I use that because there's actually a meme. There's a Bugatti parked underneath the carport next to a trailer. It says, that's how you spot the drug dealer in the neighborhood.
Right.
But, look at the yachts, the mega yachts and just yachts in general. I mean, geez, when you're into a 200-foot yacht that you have to have a crew, you're making beaucoup dollars. That yacht costs a lot of money. So the guy that buys a little fishing boat, right, paid a luxury, or not a luxury tax, paid a consumption tax on that. The guy that bought a yacht paid a consumption tax on that. Who paid more? The guy that bought a yacht. Mm-hmm. They're both consumption based, not what they made.
Yeah, and that's how I would probably do it. I would eliminate all income tax altogether. I would add more of a consumption tax until you could wean off that as well. But I think the overall goal, if the government's doing its job properly, should be to take as little of its citizens' money as absolutely possible.
Right.
Our government should not be a profit center trying to make money off of its citizens. The government should be trying to fund itself in a way that helps the citizens be more prosperous. And there's no situation in which you're taking money from your citizens in which you're helping them. It's just if
No,
you
I understand. All I'm talking about is the aspect of transitioning from where we're at.
yeah,
You-
I agree.
Here's the thing, guys. If you think that if we want to go to overnight to say, let's say tariff based, then get ready to pay double what you're paying for goods, because that's the consequence.
On anything being imported. But what that will end up doing, there will be a period of pain, but what that'll end up doing is start bringing manufacturing back into this country. It'll basically protect our markets from these imports. So
I
where you
agree, and
putting
that will take quite a bit. That will take years to do. I'm not saying no, not everything, but to have. Listen, the Chinese didn't overnight spring up factories to produce every bauble that we consume.
Oh, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. There will, like any major transition comes with a period of pain and discomfort, to get to it. But it's that short-term crappiness for long-term happiness.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's
So
just finding the path. That's it, and being able to explain it to the people that basically buy into it.
yep.
And they'll let people that are on that platform that support that America First. I'll generalize that to America First platform.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. Sorry, I just got an email from Ben and Tina. All right, they're still coming. I just wanted to make sure. Very good. Yeah. So those of you watching on Rumble, D Live, Cloud Hub, Odyssey, YouTube, Twitter, make sure you find your way over to pill.net in about 5 minutes. We're going to switch exclusively over there. We've got Ben and Tina Garrison of graphics.com joining us in the second hour. We're going to have a great time looking at their cartoons and enjoying a conversation. It's been a while since we've had them on. There's a lot of cartoons, and I'm super pumped up to get them back on the show. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. TM, there's one more thing I just want to cover real quick before we do jump exclusively, and I think this is also really great news. Supreme Court strikes down bump stock ban. The Supreme Court ruled on June 14th that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives exceeded its authority when it interpreted the federal firearm statute to outlaw the use of bump stocks. Quote, "We conclude that semi-automatic rifle equipped with a bump stock is not a machine gun because it does not fire more than one shot by a single function of the trigger," Justice Clarence Thomas said in the court's majority opinion. The vote was 6-3, with Justice Sonia Sotomayor writing a dissent, joined by the two other liberal justices. Her dissent suggested that bump stocks effectively make semi-automatic weapons into machine guns. A bump stock is a firearm accessory that allows users to shoot at a continuous rate, resulting in hundreds of rounds fired per minute. Quote, "When I see a bird that walks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, I call that bird a duck," she said. She added that the majority's artificially narrow definition hamstrings the government's effort to keep machine guns from gunmen like the Las Vegas shooter, which we all know that whole
That
narrative.
was such bullshit. That's
Yeah.
such bullshit. Hundreds of rounds. Let's see. By the time you go through a drum on a typical AR that you would put a bump stock in, the barrel melted.
What I'm waiting for is someone to challenge the constitutionality of even a machine gun ban.
Yeah, true that. True
You know
that.
what I mean? Like it again, shall not be infringed. We have chipped away at that. When I say we, I mean our wonderful people in Washington D.C. and state governments around the country have chipped away at that in a way that's completely inexcusable and unconstitutional. That Second Amendment has not been changed. They have not gone through the Convention of States process to change that Second Amendment. There are rules. If you want to change the Constitution, there are mechanisms to do so. You're required to do that to change the contract you have with the citizens of this country. We're expected to follow the rules as citizens. The government should have to follow the rules as well, and they have largely ignored the rules and made laws that go against that contract, and have found little creative ways to chip away at that basic human right. So I think this is a good sign that this Supreme Court is very pro Second Amendment seeing this, and I would love to see whether it's the NRA or some gun rights group actually start challenging some of the things that have been done You know, the idea of a tax stamp for an SBR or a silencer is absurd. You know, the fact that you should have to register that. What they're trying to do with pistol braces, which they just lost in a court recently on that too, as far as trying to turn pistol braces into what is essentially an SBR situation. They need to, somebody needs to really start challenging all of these gun control laws to the Supreme Court, coming up with good arguments, because the government has so overstepped its rights, I guess, or its authority, not its rights, its authority on the Second Amendment. I mean, even a background check is infringement. The simple act of running a background check is technically an infringement. It's completely ridiculous. And I understand the logic behind it, and I don't even necessarily disagree with some of the security measures and that you want to take before arming somebody. But my point is that the contract between the citizens and the country is very clearly written, and there is a very clearly written process to change that. So until you do your job and actually change that, you have no right to do any of this stuff. Whether you feel it's necessary or common sense or whatever, you know, moniker you want to put next to it, we have to play by the rules. So should they have to as well. And they haven't. They chip around the edges of these basic rights without going through the necessary process to actually change the contract between ourselves and them. And it's, I don't know, man, it infuriates me. It infuriates me, regardless of whether or not I agree with some of these laws. They are unconstitutional by definition, and therefore should be null and void and not enforced.
The dilemma is that they've flipped, as they typically do. They attempt prevention rather than punishment. Mm-hmm. Prevention never worked. We even have a perfect example of that, and that's prohibition. They constitutionally amended did an amendment to prohibit alcohol. Then they did another amendment to remove that restriction. Why? Because prohibition doesn't work.
Exactly. No, that's a great point, Tien. We have to go to our break right now. It is 4:57. If you're watching on Rumble, D-Live.
As an outro, do the it's 3 minutes and 6 seconds. Do what I put in chat as an outro to Rumble.
All right, yeah. So instead of playing a normal video, I'll play this as an outro. When we come back on the other side, we will officially say goodbye to the other platforms. We'll read your gold pill chats that have come in since the last ones we read. And then we'll welcome on our very good friends, Ben and Tina Garrison of GurGraphics.com. Really looking forward to catching up with those guys. So we'll be right back.
Pretty bleak recently, the past 200-300 years. Listen, but this weekend, there was one story that was so disturbing, so dark, even the news couldn't handle it.
In our editorial discussions this morning, we were asked not to show the image from this video because of its violent and disturbing nature.
Video, which we are intentionally choosing not to show you.
We're not going to show because of how disturbing it is.
I was extremely disturbed to see this.
Horrible, horrible, violent imagery.
Violent and dehumanizing imagery.
We're only going to show you a clip of this briefly.
All right, that's enough. Let's take it down.
See it at all. This has got to be devastating. News channels show images from Ukraine, from Gaza, from natural disasters. They get through them dispassionately. I can't imagine how devastating this footage must be.
Former President Donald Trump shared a video, this one, on his Truth Social account featuring an image of President Joe Biden hogtied on the back of a pickup truck.
that's what was so disturbing and dehumanizing. You wouldn't show it on television, and an airbrushed Biden decal on the back of a truck? Aren't you the same networks that show reruns of 9/11 every year? I mean, I don't think it's great that Trump is posting things like this, but it's not like people really think Joe Biden was tied up in the back of the truck.
It's a doctored image, but it's plastered on the tailgate of the pickup truck. So if you're driving behind it, it would appear as if Joe Biden were actually restrained on the vehicle's flatbed.
If you think that's really Joe Biden tied up on the back of the pickup truck, I don't know that you have the mental acuity to be operating a motor vehicle. But if you do think that, I should also probably explain to you that trucks also don't actually have testicles. It's just a novelty item. And it's not as though when an F-150 and a Silverado love each other very much, they get one of these. It's not.
Oh man. All right. That was pretty good. All right, guys. Again, hop over to pilled.net for hour number 2. The link is in the Rumble description. I'm throwing it in the Rumble chat and over on the D Live chat as well. And I really appreciate everyone who is going to come over and keep hanging out with us for the second hour of the show. If you're not, no worries. We'll catch you guys on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern time for another installment of Deplorable discussion. So look forward to catching you guys then. But hope you'll join us. We'll see you guys next time.